come as no surprise to anyone that Mario has branched out during his time in the gaming spotlight. He's been a tennis player, a doctor, a boxing referee, an artist, a football player, and even a piece of bloody paper. Come to think of it, has anybody actually seen Mario do any plumbing? I'm pretty sure I haven't, unless he spent the last 35 years unclogging all those pipes with his entire body, in which case I don't blame him for dipping his toe into other career paths. In 2017's Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Mario decides to take a leaf out of Elmer Fudd's book and start hunting Rabbids, or Rabbids in this case, the wacky white horde which is known best for turning up uninvited to Rayman's birthday party, then giving him the video game equivalent of making this gesture with their hand, and then punching him in his non-existent arm when he looks. And I have to ask, who the hell came up with this crossover? Nobody asked for it. I can only assume some overpaid executive at either Nintendo or Ubisoft used two dartboards, one full of silent protagonists and one full of annoying bastards. But I digress. After being greeted with the most charming of main menus, both with its vibrant colours and impeccable use of humour, I think it's time to jump straight into the story. It turns out the two worlds collide due to the invention of a matter-merging device created by a Nintendo superfan and a robot assistant Beepo. Our nameless Nintendo-holic leaves the room and the Rabbids show up right on cue in their time-travelling washing machine. Oh, by the way, they have a time-travelling washing machine, in case you didn't know. They then proceed to impersonate your most annoying child relative by playing with anything they can get their mischievous little mitts on. A Rabbid inevitably wears the aforementioned matter merger and begins to merge random Rabbids with random objects, including a Rabbid wearing Mario's hat and a Rabbid wearing a Princess Peach wig, who both turn out looking like that one mediocre cosplaying couple you know. Shortly afterwards, everyone gets sucked into the DeLaundrian, see what I did there, and thanks to a Mario poster getting sucked in with them, everyone gets transported into the Marioverse. A vortex also appears above the Mushroom Kingdom, interrupting a ceremony celebrating Princess Peach with a statue, although what they're celebrating I don't know. The only thing I can think of is their outstanding achievement in the field of kidnappability. Once Beepo and co crash the party, Beepo suddenly sprouts ears and rabbit teeth because reasons. Everyone lands in another part of the Mushroom Kingdom, and all the mashup Rabbids turn hostile with the exception of our resident cosplayers. You are then tasked with catching a rabbit who has fused with the headset to save the Mushroom Kingdom from those rascally rabbits before finding a way to return home. You control Beepo, leading your team throughout the hub world and into the missions, and at this point I'm already questioning things. Why the hell are we controlling Beepo through the hub world and not Mario? Mario knows the Mushroom Kingdom better than Beepo because he, well, lives there. It could be forgiven if your entire team was made up of Rabbids, but Mario has to be in your party at all times, so I just can't understand it. The gameplay is lifted straight from the XCOM franchise, but with a few small tweaks. During missions, you get an isometric view of the battlefield and take it in turns moving around the play area one character at a time, then trying your hardest to blast your opponent in the face with your gun. I know what you're thinking. Mario doesn't have a gun. What's he going to attack the Rabbids with? His mustache? Well, just before the first battle, Beepo receives a message from someone known as FB, and your guess is as good as mine on what that stands for. Fantasy Baseball? Final Boss? Friends with Benefits? The only major difference between Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle and XCOM is that in Kingdom Battle you get a more limited percentage to determine the probability of success when you shoot. XCOM gives you between a 1% and 100% chance to hit, whereas Kingdom Battle only gives you 0%, 50% and 100% chances to hit, which allow the gameplay to be streamlined and easier to understand for the younger audience it's marketed to. There's also a wide range of different attacks you can do which allow for multiple different strategies. All characters have guns they can shoot from a reasonable distance, and all characters can run into enemies during movement phases to perform a dash attack. Some characters have hammers to attack close up, some have sentries that seek out the Rabbids and explode when close enough, and some have cute little rubber duckies that explode right in their faces. That's one way to liven up bath time, I suppose. Outside of combat, there are also other things you can do to find collectibles and earn rewards. Puzzles are scattered throughout every part of the world, with some needing specific abilities to access and solve, thus encouraging returning to previously completed sections of the game. There's also a hub world which contains the Battle HQ, where you can switch out your party, buy weapons and unlock character abilities with power orbs and coins that you earn throughout the game. There's also a museum, where you can marvel at all of the collectibles you've gathered throughout your playthrough, and the washing machine, which allows you to replay any stage in a world you've already completed, as well as allowing you to access a bunch of optional challenges which grant you more coins and orbs. One minor issue I found with the game is how many graphical glitches I came across. Multiple times during my playthrough, large objects would appear and disappear at random, completely breaking the immersion. It baffles me that a game that's been out for over 3 years still has these kinds of glitches. The biggest flaw this game has though is undoubtedly its difficulty. I know what you're thinking. XCOM is hard, so it makes sense for Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle to be hard too. And that's true to an extent, but here's the thing. This is a game marketed towards children. XCOM isn't. If adults are getting stuck on some of these battles, how could you reasonably expect a child to overcome these battles? It would make more sense to unlock a fourth member for your party to balance out the upcoming difficulty. On top of that, the campaign mode for XCOM is similar to a roguelike. If you get a game over, you have to start the whole campaign again, which allows you to tackle the whole story in a fresh way. With this game, however, it's a completely linear story, meaning if you get a game over and are struggling to complete a chapter, you either have to keep hitting your head against a brick wall, spend hours tinkering with the abilities and weapons of your character to find the right combination to pass the stage, or grind through the challenges in hopes to earn enough coins or orbs to enhance those weapons and abilities. No child is going to go through that much trouble to get back into the action, and no amount of rolling through pipes and triggering a Windows 98 screensaver nostalgia in me can make up for the comedy of errors that is this game's difficulty. There was even one fight where I decided to consult a walkthrough, and 50% of the time, the optimum way to approach the battle was ruined by a critical hit that pushed an enemy out of dashing range. If a critical hit frustrates you instead of elates you, in the wise words of Confucius, you're done fucked up. Overall, I think it's fair to say that Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle deserves praise for trying something new in a market full of unoriginal ideas, but like a man trying to stab an airport runway, it fails to stick the landing. It's all well and good trying to merge two worlds to create a new and exciting experience, and I guess it's fair to say that the types of comedy both franchises have complement each other well if you're into that. However, in a video game, zany humour can only get you so far. If I have to navigate a labyrinth of rakes in a dark shed in order to get to a party on the other side, I'm eventually just going to go home disappointed with a cartoonish bump on my head and no goodie bag to take home with me. Hey everyone, and thank you so much for watching my review of Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Please consider liking the video if you enjoyed it, leaving a comment letting me know what you thought of the game, subscribe if you want to see more of my stuff, and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified whenever I upload a video. See you next time.